For some of you guys who don't know who I am, my name is Thuba. I oversee the club here. Been doing this for 14 years, going on 15 years. You know, I enjoy what I do. I'm always excited being out here on the fields. That's why I've done it for a long time. And then this is Joe Anderson. Believe it or not, like we played soccer together at Coastal, and then I coached him for what, 2 years at Coastal. And then he moved away. He came back, and he knows the club too. I think what, 8 or 9 years now.
No, I think it's Sonny and I were talking about it yesterday. I think it might be 10 years.
10 years, yeah. So he's definitely seen the club. When I first started at Beach United, we only had like, what was it, like 41 kids, and then now we're close to 300 kids combined. So we've seen growth, and one of the things, like the last 4 or 5 years, I was asking myself, I'm like, what can we do better to, you know, to change things, freshen things up? Like, how can we help our players? Because it's been, you know, Thuba, and sometimes it gets old. That's just me. We needed to bring freshness, so I spoke with various organizations, and Wilmington, the Hammerheads, they have an ECNL program. Made sense because pretty much from our older teams, we have like 3 or 4 kids playing in Wilmington. So this partnership made sense because, you know, it's gonna help. You know, we're pretty much gonna start at U7 and build it up all the way to U19. So it's been a process. Is it gonna be perfect? No, but is it gonna be better long term? Absolutely. All right, we're gonna we're gonna create a new curriculum for our players, right? And that's gonna help us tremendously. And this curriculum, you know, feeds off from the Hammerheads curriculum, so that those elite players who want to advance to Wilmington, you know, their chances are going to be pretty high because they already understand the system from U7 all the way to U13. Whenever they get to pre-ECNL, which would be like, you know, U11, U12-ish. So that's the advantage of that partnership. Freshness, you know, I've already been approached by other coaches who want to be part of this. You know, coaches who are not part of Beach United because they see the opportunity. The one thing which I told our coaches at our meeting last Monday, right? You know, like, you gotta do what's right for the kids. And to me, it's a no-brainer not to go with this, and I support it 100%. I pretty much told my coaches, I'm like, either you're in or you're out. My days, every day, you know, I'm like, all right, next problem. You fix it and move on to the next one, right? And I've been doing it for 15 years, and, you know, I've been kind of like passing some of the responsibilities to Joe, and he asked me like, how do you do it? I'm like, well, you know, I love it. If I didn't love it, like, I wouldn't be doing it because it's crazy sometimes. All right, I'll let Joe introduce himself like a little bit.
Thuba and I have gone back a long ways, as he's mentioned. Thuba's always had my back. His focus for me has always been the kids over the money. Again, money does pay for the facilities and the coaches, so that's still obviously an important part of just life across the board. But the focus for him is the kids, and partnering with Wilmington has now created a path for them to have. And for me, that's super exciting because, again, I've been here and we've had what, about 4 kids go on to college, at least that I've coached when I've been here. But it's never been like a clean path as to the development of the club itself, and having this opportunity to bridge into a regional program and being a part of the beginning of it, especially for the individuals here who have the 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old children, is pretty major. For my history, like he said, I played at Coastal. I ended up getting drafted to play professional for a bit and then stopped through injury. I have 2 girls, a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old. The only thing I can teach them is soccer, and none of them really want to play. So I'm able to at least provide all of that here. And yeah, so my journey here has been great. I'm excited for where we're gonna go. I just ask, as we transition and we bridge into this new space, that we get the trust from the parents, If you have your concerns, please voice them so we can address them, because we are learning as we go, and just give us the opportunity so we can build into making something great for your kids.
We created a pyramid like that, and this is going to be on the website as well, so you don't need to be squinting your eyes trying to read it. So U7 to U10, that's going to be our academy, right? Same thing which Wilmington, the Hammerheads are doing, we're going to be doing the same thing here, okay? And then the classic, which is between U11 and U19, right? We'll keep, you know, some of our teams are going to stay here and still play in the state league, right? Because I think I get some questions from parents like, oh, does it mean we play in North Carolina? No, no, no. We're still playing here, right? So the Hammerheads, they have teams with, you know, which are not ECNL, who still play in the state league on that side, right? Not everybody goes to ECNL. Let's get that right. Right. This is a pathway to get into ECNL if your kid gets to that point, right? So we got North Carolina State League, and then you got South Carolina State League, right? So that's gonna be like the second pillar on this pyramid. And then after that, you know, starting at, you know, U12 through U12. So for this year, it'll be the 2013s, right? Some of our 2013s already started training in Wilmington, like once a week on Tuesdays. They started doing that in the fall. Moving forward, we're going to be having those training sessions here, right? So that, like, you know, it's less traveling for our kids, right? So pre-ECNL U12, and then going to the next year, 25-26 season, those 2013s become U13, right? There's other players from our club already which we know, which we already identified, which we can send to Wilmington. Like, hey, by the way, you know, Joe Anderson is one of our top 2013s. Can you check out Joe Anderson? Now it's up to Joe Anderson to go to Wilmington and impress the coach there. If you make ECNL, great. If not, you come back, we continue with our curriculum, we try again next year. Or maybe mid-season, things change, right? But now we're gonna have that direct communication. The director for ECNL, Will, he's gonna be coming here 2-3 times a month. So he will know, like, our players. He came like a few times when we were training at Ashley Booth to come and watch our training sessions as well. So that's going to continue, like, going on, so that, like, we can continue, you know, identifying players and pushing forward. ECNL for U13 to U19, there's 2 levels. You got the national, which is like the top, and then you got the regional, right? So our goal here for the net, so we're going to be falling under the Hammerheads umbrella, because we've already, you know, had conversations with the ECNL board. So in the future, I'm not going to give you dates until it's finalized. All right, you know, that regional satellite team will be out of here in Meadow Beach, right? Because Columbia has got ECNL, Charleston has got ECNL, but nothing here. So when we mentioned that to them, they were like, you know what? Because that creates more games, right? The more teams you have, like, you know, that creates more games for them, which they're always like trying to balance off. All right. So that's a realistic approach of, you know, getting, we'll get like the regional portion of it. The national, on the other hand, that's a different story. If your kid is good enough to play national, they'll have to go to Wilmington, because we won't be able to host that even if we're still under their umbrella. Does that make sense? So any of our players who are like on that regional team, starting maybe possibly like, you know, next year or so, you know, if you're on the regional team and we've got enough for those teams, of which whenever we have a regional team, like, it's easier to recruit players because all the players want to play ECNL. It'll be right here in Meadow Beach, so which is a plus. And then the national, all of the kids have to go train in Wilmington. They have a nice facility there. They just built a brand new complex. You know, if you have an ECNL program, like more opportunities open up. You know, dealing with the city, with the county, like, you know, makes it easier. They just built a nice facility through the city. So hopefully, like in the future, we'll be looking at that. So a lot of work for myself and Joe. You know, some parents have also asked about, you know, the coaching. Like, the good thing, we waited to announce it until now, and then we're going to be heading into tryouts, and then we've got like the whole summer to educate our coaches, the curriculum. And in the meantime, you know, I'm going to be hiring new coaches. All right, I just had a meeting this morning. You know, we have Zoom meetings with the Hammerheads like 2 or 3 times a week. Possible 2 new coaches wanting to join us, which is great, which helps me heading into tryouts in coaching assignments. You know, I'll have more options. So that's one thing which, you know, we'll continue like sending this information to you guys. And the one thing which I forgot at the beginning, we're using TeamPath. That's the platform which we're using, right? If you don't read your TeamPath, you're going to be behind on everything. Starting this fall, if you're not on TeamPath, you're not going to get the information. So make sure, you know, you're using that. Any questions about this? I know some of you guys have already visited the pyramid before I get to the next portion.
The tryouts.
Yes.
I know our tryouts are coming up. And you sent the TeamPath message the other day.
Yes, I sent another one today too.
Yeah. The 5A and the 5B.
Yes.
Are we trying out here for just beach, or are we trying out here for beach and the Hammerheads?
So, has Kylie registered for?
She hasn't registered for either yet.
So, glad you asked that.
Yeah.
All right. So, everybody, like, this is actually exciting because we've got 3 clubs combined. We've got JASA as well. So JASA is going to be part of the Hammerheads too.
Okay.
So, which is great. So we're registering all the kids under the same umbrella. That's why Beach United is 5A. That's the first, like the U7 to U12.
Yeah.
5B is going to be U13 and above.
So
every player, unless if I've reached out to you that you need to go to the girls tryout this Saturday, register under Beach. Here, 5A or 5B.
Yeah.
If you end up like, you know, let's say you decide you want to go there, we'll transfer your kid from the Beach registration to the Wilmington.
Okay.
Yes.
Will there be goalie training?
Yes, it's my fault this year because our goalkeeper coach Vanessa from last fall, she accepted a job. She's coaching the women's national teams now, and she's not able to train our goalkeepers. And then the boys at Coastal, all the goalkeepers, they're too busy. So we tried to do it like I'd rather just. That's why this spring I went ahead and canceled it altogether instead of just bringing somebody who's not gonna. But we'll have goalkeeper coach who's gonna be doing training here in Wilmington. So if you don't see a goalkeeper coach by September 1st or 2025, let me know. So some of the things which are going to be beneficial, all of our kids are under the same umbrella. Let's say we've got, Bogdan from, the U12 boys, right? And they're needing a player to come fill in, right? And then I just send an email to, we're all going to be sharing 2 registrars. The registrars are the ones which do like player cards and so forth. So Bogdan can go play, right, without having to get like clearance from South Carolina. Go ahead.
Question on that. So if they're playing here on beach, right?
Yes.
And if something happens to, God forbid, something happens
Somebody,
to a
lower
player
numbers,
on the regional teams,
yes.
Can they get pulled up and they don't have to do anything, or no?
You'll be cutted in North Carolina already.
All right.
Yeah. So those are the advantages, right?
Yeah.
So if, let's say your kid goes there, does the main week,
Yeah.
and then, they're going to put her on the radar, and then if they're missing players or whatever it is, hey, Carlos Smith, are you ready? If they're available, then you go and play. The community pathways, this is pretty much I've already covered that. You know, we're starting off our academy, going to Classic, National League, South Carolina. Our Fusion girls team is playing on that. That's the highest league in South Carolina. We'll try and push our teams to the highest divisions based on personnel, like if we're able to compete in that. All right. And then also too, like I was identified like 10 boys. I forgot, like tomorrow they're going to Wilmington, Charlotte FC. I know Arthur, Kaio's brother, that's Kaio right there. Charlotte FC, you know, they called me up like several months ago. They want me to be their scout for their academy teams. So they were asking for 2013 boys and 2011 boys. So we're gonna send 10 boys tomorrow. They're gonna go train in Wilmington tomorrow. I told the parents I'm not guaranteeing anything, but you know, if you do get a second tryout, then good for you. And then Jake Cunningham right there, I see. So there's gonna be those opportunities as well now moving forward. You know, Charlotte FC, the only thing which stinks is they don't have girls. Sorry, Dad. So we'll have to find something else. But those are the opportunities which are going to be available for most of our kids, not just at beach, but kids in the area. And then the other thing, building relationships. You know, pretty much, you know, schools, preschools. Want to make sure like we want to start like getting into those as well, and just, you know, going in there like offering like, you know, soccer training in schools and so forth, so that when that kid does come to us at 6.5, 7, at least they have an idea of on how to play the game. Right? Like I said, like, you know, one of my good friends who's known me for a long time asked me like, you've been doing this is kind of like your baby and so forth, like you just willing to give it up? I'm like, it's not all about me. I've played the game, I've enjoyed it, I've traveled the world. I'm all about like trying to find new solutions and, you know, provide it for the kids. That's why you see me in the fields pretty much every single day, unless if I'm stuck doing my other jobs. But I love being here. This is exciting. I signed a 4-year agreement with them because it's gonna take time, right? Just like when you're starting a new business, like, you know, you're gonna have some ups and downs, but you know, it's soccer. At the end of the day, it's soccer. We have soccer fields, we got goals, like, let's play, let's believe in the system. Year 2 or 3, it'll be a different conversation from this. So I'm very optimistic about that. All right, I think I'm done for today. What we'll do, there's gonna be a follow-up Zoom meeting so that you guys can interact with Will is the director of ECNL for the Hammerheads, and then you've got Carson Porter, who's like the same position like I had. Either we'll do a Zoom or depending on their schedule, because their tryouts are starting this Saturday, so but they're willing to drive down and come and meet up with you guys. So next time when we have these, like, you guys are going to be talking to the 2 of us and then the 2 guys from Wilmington.
Sorry, when you say their tryouts are this Saturday, is that for the entire club?
No, because with them, they spread them out.
Okay.
Yeah, so they'll start right now, this Saturday, and then I think their last tryout is like May 14th or past that. So it takes a while for them, because they gotta factor in some of the kids are playing high school and all the other things. Yeah, can't be just Doug by himself. Hey, Justin.
So in the fall, with Beach United, so there will be like teams in the Classic Division and teams that are in the regional.
Not yet. That's
yet.
2025.
Okay.
2026. Yeah, and then the other thing too, like moving forward, we're gonna be Beach United Hammerheads. So that like when we do make that application to ECNL, there's a link.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Good question, Justin. You just walked in. Yep, question? Actually, his son, Kirsten, is going to be going to try out tomorrow in Wilmington. Any other questions? Joe, did I miss anything? Yes, John?
Is there a plan? Like, I know
they all don't really get along really well. Is your plan to try and get some of the
We've
top
offered
players?
that, like that's why I went with Wilmington. I was willing to work with. Yeah. So to answer to that, like, you know, all 3 clubs, which are,
4 now.
well, not counting us.
Okay,
All the
not
other
counting.
3 clubs, I've reached out. We've had meetings. I've got notes on my laptop. I can send you if you want to see them. It's all about the kids. Thuba played like 22 years ago, right? I got my trophies and medals. Actually, I only have 3. But it's all about the kids. And whoever wants to join us, and that was one of the discussions with the Hammerheads. Are you willing to work with anybody? I'm like, by all means, because if we combine, we become a force. I was in Charlotte last Wednesday. I spent a day there and watched from the MLS team all the way to their 2013s. It's massive. People come together. Now you're talking a stronger, like, national level team, regional level team, and then you've got that national league team, which is so strong. You might even have 2 of them. So you combine the clubs, good things will happen. So, good question. Yes, Joe.
So looking at it and going through the academy, the classic you're going through, is that where you're looking at when it comes to fees? Are those going to be different fees for different tiers?
Yes.
Because of the level
Yes.
of competition and
Yes.
everything now?
Yes. So pretty much it's the same. Actually, we have a meeting on Friday to go over the fees, right? I'll tell you, because I'd already worked on the budget for this year, like last fall. The fees are going to go up because they didn't go up like the last 2 years. We got teams playing National League South Carolina where their referee fees per game is close to not your age, but close to $100. And then for Kai's team, you're only paying $20. So those are the things which, you know, I gotta factor in right there. So the fees are gonna be similar to what we've been paying. There might be like smaller increments on that. And we did increase the tryout fee. It's gonna be $50. It's $30 for your actual tryout, and then the other $20 is gonna be for sports science. They have a sports science person in Wilmington. It's a subscription for the whole year. Every Monday, every other Monday, you're gonna be getting, hey, your kid needs this much time to rest, what to eat, and so forth, training loads and everything. So it'll be beneficial.
I got
Yes.
a question. Any video, like trace or video or anything like that?
Well, we've tried that. Just like when I tried to provide tents and benches for all the teams, we ended up losing money on that.
Yeah.
I know you've got a trace, which is great. I have one. We'll ask the parents, like we ask parents.
Up to the team.
Yeah, it's up to the team. But I highly recommend it because with my teams, which I coach, we record, I critique them. They can see it instead of listening to Thuba all the time, thinking that I'm crazy. The tape doesn't lie. It's right there. So it's going to be based on teams. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Just you say, oh, okay. Yeah, just reach out to me. All right? All right, thank you, parents. Have a great day.
Thank you.